Hey YouTube, I just want to bring a quick video today on a deck that I have built. I actually was going to do a lot of videos concerning mermails because I am a Merlantian player, but as to the request, well, not really a request, as to a comment made by a Redditor who goes by the username of Judgment122, I will be doing this video because he pretty much mentioned it in his comment. So shout out to you, Judgment122. Alright, so this video I will be doing a profile on my Prophecy deck. Yes, I do have it built. I didn't build it just because of your comment. I actually had it built. I actually bought the skeleton a couple of weeks ago because as soon as Tachyon Galaxy hits, this deck becomes tier negative like 20,000 because all the cards are fucking broken. But anyways, it's I don't want to make this video too long. This build is really standard. Anyways, I do have all the new Prophecy cards from Cosmo Blazer, so I will be totally revamping this deck with Reapers. Probably not Fools. I'll explain why I'm probably not going to run Fool later in this video. But so let's just get right into the deck. So first off, Triple Priestess. She's the Dark Arm Dragon of the deck. Why I'm running 3 is self-explanatory, because she's really damn good. And there's really nothing more I can say about this card other than she's expensive right now, and she's about to get a whole lot more expensive, especially as we get closer and closer to Tachyon Galaxy. Which feels weird to say because freaking Cosmo Blazer just came out last week. Anyways, next up, Triple Spellbook Magician. She is the Stratos of the deck essentially, and not only that, her effect still goes off if she's flipped face. Sorry, her effect goes off when she's summoned or flip summoned. So you can just set her turn 1. She gets run over. You get a free search. Nice. Lots of searching in this deck, which is great. Next up, I run Triple Temperance. Some people say run 2. Personally, I think he's too good to run at 2. And I do agree that 3 can get cloggy at times. But that's why I run 1 copy of Creature Swap, just throw him away, blah, blah, blah. But he searches the deck out for Priestess and Reaper when I do put him in the deck. And his effect's really easy to prime. All you have to do is play a spellbook card, which, if you've played this deck before, you know is not an issue at all because your hand sizes tend to be like absolutely ridiculous with this deck, and most of your hand will be populated with spellbook cards because you just recycle and search them out so much throughout the duel. Next, I run Double Justice because she is a plus. I believe she's a plus. Yes, by herself, she's a +1, but a very common play I like to do is to drop her, power up with Spellbook of Power, which makes her 2600, which is ridiculous, run over something, get the free search, and then banish herself at the end, during your end phase to get the 2 extra cards, which is a +2. It's just an amazing card. Searches out Priestess, primes the Priestess in your hand if you don't have 3 spellbook cards, and just overall makes the deck a bit more consistent. Next up, I'm running 2 Breaker, which I am going to cut for Lila. Now, reason being, Lila synergizes so much with the deck, especially now that Reaper has been released, because Reaper depends on the amount of different spellbook cards in your graveyard, and Lila just mills the deck, which is fine because with Reaper I will also be throwing into the deck I'm not sure how many yet, but up to 2 copies of Prophecy Destroyer. So I'm gonna hold on. Sorry, I'm just gonna adjust the angle a bit. I will be throwing in Prophecy Destroyer along when I do throw in Reaper, and if he gets milled, it's not a big deal because you just banish, blah blah blah, special summon, get a free 2500 monster. But anyways, back to Breaker. He's almost 100% he's going to get cut for Lila because if you do need to pop the back row, Lila does give you that option, and Lila's also a spellcaster. She's also light, and she's also 1700, which is a decent 1700 attack, which is also decent. Pump her up with power, she goes to 27. The only advantage that you get with Breaker that you don't get with Lila is you don't get the 1900 beat stick right off the bat to crash into the Thunder King, but I'd say it's a fair trade-off with the milling effect that Lila gets, because you do want to mill your spellbooks into the grave, and if you do happen to mill that Prophecy Destroyer, hell, that's more options for plays. So before Cosmo Blazer, I would run two to three of these guys. I kind of find 3 cloggy, but after Cosmo Blazer, cut him, run Lila, and obviously that's only if you're running Reaper. If you're not running Reaper, still I'd keep him in. But since I will be running Reaper in the future, I'm cutting him out. Next up, Double Veiler, standard, opens up tuner plays. The effect's great, obviously. That's been tried and tested, and there's really nothing more to say about the card other than it opens up the tuner synchro plays. Sorry, that I really love with this deck. Last up to finish up the monster lineup, Double Trag. Your hand sizes are always massive, and you do run a variety of levels with this deck, so that does open up options to steal monsters from your opponent, or for synchro plays with Veiler, you can change his level, or Exceed plays, because you can also change his level. Alright, spell lineup. Next up, triple Spellbook of Secrets. Not going to explain that, standard. Searches out any spellbook. After that, we have triple Spellbook of Wisdom. This is your Forbidden Lance. That also works for... Forgot whether or not Lance works for traps, but this one gives you the option between spell and traps, and it's really good because it's searchable and recyclable, so you'll never find yourself running out of these guys, especially at 3 copies. And obviously the card itself is great. The card effect is amazing. Like, turning your Priestess into something that can just attack without fear of back row is... It's scary, especially when you combine it with power. Next up, Double Tower. At 1, you don't see it enough. At 3, you see it too much. I think that 2 is an optimal number. Yes, it can be recycled, but you want this to be active as much as possible. So even if you do have one already up on the board, and you just have one sitting in your hand, let it sit in your hand, because if that one gets popped, then you just bring it down. You bring your second one down, and really you have no downtime for this card. And you don't ever not want to have this card on the field, because drawing 2 cards in 1 turn is amazing. You just go through your deck so fast and just get to the cards you need. And I find that's the one thing that this deck does really well, is just speed. Like, this is not this isn't a turbo build, but you'd be surprised at how fast you can get through your entire damn deck just because the cards search each other out, and the draw power you get through the field spell. Next up, Double Master. It really just allows you to play the same certain spellbook cards twice in 1 turn, which is why it's so good. It makes the loops longer and generates you more advantage. And hey, it's a damn good looking card. The artwork is great. Alright, next up, I'm running Double Life, considering it bumping up to 3 because it is pretty much a monster reborn. But space issues will dictate how many copies I run once I start changing the deck up with Reaper. I feel like Reaper's going to change the deck up a lot more, because he's dark, Priestess is light, and that means we start splashing more chaos stuff into this. So that's where the deck gets really scary. Next up, Double Power. I was running it at 3, cut it down because what's the card? A Spellbook of the Master can duplicate its effect, so 3 is unnecessary. I don't want to cut it down to 1 because I do want to draw into this, because it is a great card to draw into in combination with another monster. Because, like, face it, 1,000 attack, adding 1,000 attack to any monster, that is very significant. That means your monster only has to have 900 attack before this card to run over Thunder King. And that's very significant because Thunder King shuts down this deck. Next up, I'm running the 1 copy of Eternity. I was running 2, cut it down to 1 because Master can duplicate its effect, so running 2 is no longer necessary, especially when you can search it out. And once you use it, just leave it in your graveyard, don't banish it, and don't return it back into your deck. Just copy its effect with Master. Next up, I am running 1 Spellbook Star Hall, completely personal tech choice. I like it because with spell counters, you can combine this with Arcanite Magician and turn it into a Dark Hole. And you eventually, you will end up with 10 counters on this thing. So that's plus 1000 attack, and that turns every single monster you own scary, which is great. Except Tragodia, because it's not a spellcaster. But your hand sizes are always big anyway, so your Tragodias will always be scary no matter what. 1 copy of Fate. Great tech choice, great utility card. Has 3 different effects, and I have play tested this deck, a modified version of this deck on Dueling Network with Lila's running in it, and with Lila's you have so many spellbook cards in the graveyard that you can just activate any of these effects without worrying about your graveyard situation, because you're almost guaranteed to have you're almost guaranteed to always have over 3 spellbooks in the graveyard when you're running Lila. So really this card just becomes that much better with Lila in the deck, which is again one more reason to run Lila. Run Lila in this deck. Don't run Breaker anymore. Run Lila. Alright, that rounds up all the spellbook cards. So next up we have the Broken Trinity. I'm not going to bother explaining this. If you don't know why this Trinity is called the Broken Trinity yet, then start reading up on some more Yu-Gi-Oh! That's all I can say. Next up, I tech 1 copy of Creature Swap because some of the cards do become dead later on in the game, and it's always nice to steal a boss monster for a dead Temperance, or I don't want to say dead Justice because Justice is really never dead, but there's times where you don't really need to use Justice, and you'd rather just want to swap it away for their boss monster, or to just clear their field of a big monster and give them a small monster for game. And Creature Swap allows those plays, and it's just a really fun tech choice that I am glad I put in the deck. And traps, a lot of decks don't run traps. I kind of feel like Triple Threatening Roar was a very good choice, because you often find turn 1 you can either play the Spellbook Magician of Prophecy face up, grab that spellbook, the tower, the field spell, so it's live on your first turn, but that leaves you with what? If you don't run back row, that leaves you with a 500 attack monster that your opponent can just run over, and especially with Dino Rabbit running around everywhere, that's really not a good thing, because let's say you want to get your field spell up turn 1, so you just normal summon your Magician of Prophecy, play your field spell, and then what? You pass, and they throw down Jirek Gwaiba, and then that's a first turn Dolka, or Lagia, and it's like, fuck, what am I supposed to do then? It's with Threatening Roar in the deck, you can play those greedier plays a lot safer. Same example works with a turn 1 Justice of Prophecy. You banish yourself, it banishes itself, then you have a clear field, and you're like, fuck, what do I do? Well, if you have Threatening Roar, then you can do those greedier plays and not have to worry as much about them. Anyways, I kind of went overtime. I wanted to keep this video under 10 minutes. That's why I've been speaking kind of fast and kind of stuttering over my words. But I guess, I don't know, I just ran over the time. Sucks, whatever, it happens. Anyways, that was just a quick rundown of my current Prophecy deck. It will be changed a lot in the near future, so I will be doing another video with an updated version. But anyways, I hope you all had good luck with opening your Cosmo Blazer packs. If you haven't purchased your packs or boxes yet, I would advise you to do so because it is a very good set. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you all have good luck dueling. Thanks, and please stay tuned for more videos.